Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Cannot thank you guys enough. First and foremost, I just want to say how appreciative I am for your guys' support. The overwhelming support has been amazing. And, it's not just from recently, it's from the beginning. So, continue supporting, and your boy will continue to bring out these regular day-to-day updates for Onyxcoin. So, looking across the market, of course, you're starting to see some coins going into the green, but majority of the market was down over the course of the last 24 hours. XCN making its way back up, currently up about 2%. It's going up with this Bitcoin momentum, and we're going to kind of touch a little bit more into this Bitcoin momentum and how this time around it's a little different. And if you're looking at the price, back above 2 cents, up 2% in USD, up 1% in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Comparative market cap 675 million, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $123.7 million. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer for everyone: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in cryptocurrency. So, what's different here today is the fact that, the dominance index is literally skyrocketing right now, which of course is not the best thing for altcoins. In return, as the dominance is going up, the good thing is that, Bitcoin also has seen a little bit of a breakout, retesting some of the levels we haven't seen for about 2 to 3 days, which of course is amazing to see. And if we're able to break out of this key resistance tomorrow, I think, could be a really exciting day for Bitcoin, hopefully. Of course, unless, of course, we don't hear any sort of other external factor news that can have an impact. But if not, with the way Bitcoin is currently looking, it looks like, we could be in for some excitement for the short term, which of course would be obviously nice to see. But the way the dominance is going, obviously, you will see a lot of altcoins actually lagging in Bitcoin comparative, and even, USD comparative. They would usually go up. What we're seeing right now over the last 1 hour, you are starting to see the market going up about 1 to 2%. But let's say, the dominance was, let's say the dominance was at like 60% right now, while Bitcoin was making this move. I think we would have seen 5-6% move for a lot of different coins. But the fact that, we are seeing green, I'm sure no one's really complaining. As far as XCN is concerned, XCN's price is holding above this 2 cents price point, which again is amazing to see right now. But let's really take a look at XCN on the hourly perspective, because that's the only time frame I want to focus on right now. It's simple as that. I don't want to be focusing on any other time frame right now, because right now, we need to kind of break out of this range, especially this, key resistance around this 2.2 cents mark, which I've discussed with you guys before. If we're able to break out of that range, I do believe, 3 cents could be on the table. But, with that said, we actually saw once again a nice wick towards the upside a few hours ago, up to this 2.2 cents. So again, the same exact retest for that resistance being retested. We've seen several wicks at that exact neckline of a resistance, and obviously, all of them are, rejections as of now. So we're currently hanging at 2.04 cents. Obviously, slowly but surely is going to, turn this resistance into support, but we do need more volume. We have seen a decrease in that once again. Look at the difference. You could see this for yourself. We had a major spike, of course, but now, that has decreased. Usually decreased volume always necessarily isn't a bad thing. Especially, when a project is consolidating the way XCN is right now. So far, it is not looking bad, consolidating after such an explosive move. Obviously, it has corrected quite a bit from, that high. We're talking about a 35 to 40%, drop. So, consolidating still within this 2 cents range, but you want to see the price really start retesting this neckline at this 2.2 cents more, than once. If it does this, I do personally believe, we could start heading up, to some of the levels that we haven't seen for the past few days. But so far, so good. Liking, this accumulation pattern, especially after you see a project, see a green candle the way it did. So, so far, so good. Of course, have some stop losses in place in case you don't want your profits being wiped out. That would be a good strategy to have. Or if you don't want to put in stop losses and you're looking at your portfolio and it's too much money that you cannot afford to lose, then, your best case it would be is to just lock some off of the table right away. But, so far, so good. Like what I'm seeing here, of course, the major resistance that, we need to break out of is that 2.6 cents. But right now, let's kind of, focus on where we are rather than, the higher time scale. But we'll keep it one step at a time. Of course, let me know down below what you guys think. What are your personal thoughts into why you think, Onyxcoin is, holding up so well. And yeah, if you have not subscribed, or you're waiting for, hit that red subscribe button, and we'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.